Swine flu rationing, yes. State officials making plans for a severe flu outbreak, and that includes barring patients with incurable diseases from hospitals and ventilators. Talk about death panels. Forget health care reform. The question is, how are you going to actually ration our health care? Swine flu is a test of that in Florida. We'll talk about it right after this.
It's not that bad yet, but it's sort of a worst-case scenario. Guidelines for dealing with a flu pandemic and what happens if there are so many sick patients that there aren't enough hospital beds to hold them. Rationing treatment. They've outlined plans actually to deny beds for patients with diseases such as incurable cancer, end-stage multiple sclerosis, and even flu patients with a poor prognosis. The current swine flu outbreak is nowhere near pandemic levels that these guidelines plan for, but they're trying to get their logic in place before they actually are called on to make those kind of decisions.
She broke the Florida flu story on ProPublica. Also with us, Dr. Aaron Lieberman. He's interim chair of the Department of Health Management and Informatics at the University of Central Florida, has 20 years of hospital management experience.
When there are way too many patients, it would set out some rules about who could get those resources.
That is rationing.
And who couldn't.
And that's rationing.
Explicit rationing, yes. In this case, explicitly rationing.
And in some cases in this country, we ration based on who can pay for it.
That's why we have an organized government in a democracy. And in this instance, government, in my view, is making a tough choice, but a very rational choice.
What did Dr. Fink, what are the values upon which that decision is made?
Well, I mean, that's the whole question. Is
what
factors do we put into place?
Obviously, a decision's been made here, right?
For example, says that anyone with a do not resuscitate order would not be eligible for hospital admission in a severe pandemic. That's a value judgment. That's not necessarily something that's based on science. So there are all kinds of things like this.